Welcome back to Virtual Reality Game Dev Ed. This is the 10th tutorial video for our friend Codename B. Now, what I have done in the meantime here is just gone ahead and duplicated that capsule a couple times. I made 4 of them and actually changed the texture from my green. I went ahead and used the same material as my floor. However, there's one thing I want to point out. When you use the same material, it's still tiled the same as my floor. So 10 by 10 on these looks pretty small, and that's fine because we want a little bit different here. But note that if you want this to have the same size tile as the floor or whatever, then you're going to want to actually you want to duplicate this material and create a second one and tile it different. Okay, let's go ahead and I'm gonna rename all these. I'm just gonna put numbers on them. Capsule 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then I want to actually take all of these capsules and go ahead and make them part of my floor as well. So select your top one, hold shift, and click on the bottom one to have all 4 selected. And there's our floor. So drag them right down in part of your floor there. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and click play and see where we're at. Now we're moving around, we're shooting still, we're doing, but you know, now especially with these things in the way there, this is rather inconvenient. This is kind of a first-person shooter game. I use the first-person shooter movement script on my character and everything. So one thing we want to do here is actually set up the camera as a first-person shooter camera rather than have it just sitting there in space and looking around at me. So the first thing we're going to do is set up our camera real quick. We need to go ahead and select your camera and remove this smooth follow script, the smooth look at script, excuse me. Okay. Now we want to place this pretty close to our little dude. Get right behind him. Line it up so you can see him. We want a little bit above him yet. And now we actually want to point it down just a little bit. So go ahead and point it down just a little bit at him so you can kind of see his tail. Okay. Alright, now take your camera and just go ahead and attach it to your cube body. And now go ahead and click play. And we see our camera follows us now. And if we shoot, we can see our ball. That's why I pointed the camera down a little bit. Okay, now one thing you notice when we turn around, we're moving a little bit too fast for the tail. That's another thing we have to change real quick. And another reason I made our own version of the smooth follow script. We can go right into our script and edit the dampening is what's happening there. The dampening makes it slowly come back behind you like that. Our dampening is just a little bit too high on that script right now. So go ahead and close some of these folders so we can see what we're working with. Come under My Scripts and go ahead and open up My Smooth Follow script, or whatever you named your version of this copy and pasted script. Takes a second for MonoDevelop to open up. Remember, it's a separate program. But it should bring that script right up for you. Now, you see the rotation dampening here? 3 is definitely way too high for this. We actually want to maybe do just like 1 for now. Go ahead and save 1. And then just minimize MonoDevelop. And go ahead and click play. It will automatically change that for all the objects it's attached to. It's a little bit better. The thing is, we're rotating really quickly now. So let's come into back on our cube body and see if we can't change the rotation a little bit. Make it a little nicer. Maybe with this ground acceleration, we'll try 200 on that. Hit enter. And go ahead and click play and see how that looks. It's a little bit better. We're still rotating a little quickly. So let's go ahead and change our sideways speed to, say, 5. Hit enter. Click play and let's see what happens there. Okay, we're looking a little bit better. That's okay. It's good enough for me for now. Okay, so now we want to set up a little bit more of a scene. We're just moving around on the floor. This isn't going to be too much fun for us. So let's put some kind of platform or something real quick in for us to move around on. Go ahead and select out here. Take the area light real quick and go ahead and put that on the floor too. That way it's out of the way. Okay, go ahead and create another cube. This time we want to scale on the X. Let's scale this to 5. Let's do 10. Yeah, that looks good enough. Y, it doesn't need to be very high, so let's make this like 0.5. That's fine. And then width, we want to make it about 5. That'll work. That's a decent looking little piece of platform. This will be the first, you want to rotate the edge down. This will be the first little piece that we actually raise ourselves up onto our platforms with. So put it at a, on the Z, go ahead and make this a 30-degree angle. And then go to move and make sure you're moving it on the global. And put the edge of it down in the floor a little bit. Okay. Now let's see, where do we want to move it? Where do we want to get up onto our platform? You know what, that actually looks like a decent place to raise up on our platform. That's fine, we'll just leave it right where it is. Okay. And now we want to go ahead and create another, select out of everything, go ahead and create another cube. Move this one over a little bit. And we want this scale to about, say, 20 on the X. Make the Y 0.5 again. And make the Z 5 again. Okay, now we want to rotate this by 90 degrees on the Y. So we're facing sideways. Now we want to pull it up so we're about level with this little piece of platform that we put up that's going to be our ramp. Move it over this way. Okay. Kind of line it up. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. Now go ahead, while this is selected, make sure it's blue down here. Come and duplicate that. And now this one we're going to turn back to 0 and move it to the edge of this one. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this one over here again and just move it straight over. So it kind of lines up with the edge of that. Alright, now we have some kind of raised platform to go on. Let's go ahead and click play and see how we look. And you'll see it'll climb right up on that platform. And now we can shoot from up here. Alright, how's that? That's kind of cool, huh? Now I've got a little bit of a scene. Go ahead and put a texture on that. I'm going to go ahead and use the same material just for now, real quick. See how that looks on all of these. That's cool enough for me. Okay. And that's about our little setup for the scene there. And I'm about out of time for this video, so that's perfect. We will come back in the next one and make some enemies for ourselves. Alright, we'll see you all soon.